Bonjour Christian, comment ça va?
Bonjour, Madame Alice, ça va bien et vous?
Très bien, merci. Félicitations Christian, tu as passé ton TCF
Merci
récemment.
beaucoup. My name is Christian. I grew up in Indonesia. I moved to Canada in 2021. Around last year, I was thinking to get a permanent resident in Canada, but the points were so high that I think French is the only way to get like PR. I got C2 in reading and listening, C1 in writing, and then a B1 in speaking. All of that score is enough for me to get my permanent resident here in Canada.
You were able to do that within
Mhm.
4 months, like from the beginning to the end. Like
Correct.
you have received your invitation for the permanent residence, if I'm correct.
Correct. I passed my exam on end of April for my TCF, and then I got my invitation to permanent residence on end of May. So about like 1 month gap, getting my results and then getting the invitation to my permanent residence.
When do you think you'll be actually receiving the permanent residence papers?
I think usually people get their PR within 5 to 6 months. So hopefully I should get mine by the end of the year or probably sooner.
What was your French level before you started with Bravo Lang?
So I used to take some lessons with my local teacher from Indonesia, but I took it like on and off. I didn't take it like pretty seriously about learning French. But then as my work permit expires pretty closely in a really tight time frame, one of my friends contacted me about Bevel Language. And then I started taking pretty serious lessons from beginning of January to end of April. And then yeah,
Wonderful.
I took my TCF exams right after that.
Were you working at the time, at the same time as you were learning?
Yes, I've been working full time since June 2023 up until now. I would say 40 hours per week, so but not
Wow.
typical like working hours. My job currently is actuarial analyst. I am working in one of the insurance company here in Canada.
Before joining Bravo Lang, did you
Mhm.
have any concerns about learning French and passing the TCF?
I think my biggest concern is definitely writing speaking because listening and reading was not too hard for me, especially for a new language. But writing and speaking definitely will take like a lot of time to make progress, to make some effort into it. So those two sections are definitely the biggest concern before I joined the Bravo.
What was different about the way you learned French with Bravo Lang compared to other schools?
So I think the teacher in Brefolang's actually really patient, and they want you to teach like patiently about how to pass the TCF exams. They told me a lot of like pros and cons of doing this or doing that. That's
Yes.
definitely the big advantage of this Brefolang.
Was there a
Mhm.
specific moment when you realized that you were making a lot of progress compared to before?
I think once I start studying about writing and speaking, especially when I'm trying to reading the news in French, trying to listening to podcasts, watching movie with French with a subtitle, it helps me a lot into understanding the how French people are talking and then
Uh-huh.
their accent as well. It helps me into being more confident in talking French.
How many hours a day were you studying while you were working?
On weekday, Monday to Friday, I usually study 1 to 2 hours because I have a full-time job and I don't think I can study more than 2 hours on the weekday. But
Yeah,
on the weekend, I grind it more, usually studying around 4 to 5 hours, depending on the,
fantastic.
how busy am I at that time. My classes were 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, after working hours from 7 to 9 p.m.
Okay, perfect. So we're doing like
Mhm.
basically 6 hours a week of class and then
Yep,
studying every day an hour or two, and then on
right.
the weekends 4 or 5 hours. What impact did passing the TCF have on your immigration journey and your life in Canada?
Funny story, my work permit expired in like 5 days from now. So if I don't pass my French at the time, I will definitely get not getting my PR by now. Learning French was really important for me to be like above the cutoff points for the getting the invitations and definitely helped me a lot in getting my permanent residence for now.
How did you feel when you received your results?
For reading and listening, I got my result as soon as I pressed the submit button during my exams. I was really glad to get like C2 for both my reading and listening because I've been grinding so hard and I know I can get the most points from my reading and listening sections. I
Oh,
was really surprised to get my writing section 13 out of 20. I feel like really good considering that I'm only studying for 3 to 4 months.
looking back, what part of the program helped you the most?
I think the textbooks, the teacher, everything here is perfect. For my first 2 months, I started learning grammar Basically, I didn't know any grammar at all before I joined this. My first 2 months, I became familiar with all the grammars that I need to write or I need to speak for my French. And then the next 2 months, I just started grinding, practicing speaking French, writing different monologues in French, and that really helped me a lot. Recorded a couple times because it helped
Okay.
me improving my accents in French. And then the teacher told me to improve your French and like to speak are better. You need to record yourself and then see what's wrong in your accent or what's wrong in your pronunciation.
If you could go back and talk to yourself the day before joining Bravo Long, what advice would you give yourself?
I think I should have joined in sooner. I think
Okay.
I think I should have
Wonderful.
joined like 2 years ago when I started working. I should have started studying French as soon as possible so that I don't have to worry about my future in Canada.
What would you say to someone who is currently starting this journey and feels overwhelmed or unsure if they can succeed?
First thing, I feel like just be confident. I don't think a lot of people care about your accents, pronunciations. If you try to make it better, just like speak as much as you can, and then eventually you're gonna get like a better pronunciation, a better result for your French. Just keep grinding, keep practicing. I remember the past month before I took my exams, I speak every day, even during showering. I
Oh, wonderful.
yeah.
What do you think the best strategy is for somebody who's just learning, who's just beginning their journey in French?
I think for me personally, at first, I don't really care about the grammar or anything. I just try to learn as much as vocabulary so that when I'm reading the news, when I'm listening to podcasts, at least I know what they are talking about. And
Hmm.
then once you know what they are talking about, you can start learning the grammar after that. So vocabulary is definitely is like the most primary, most important thing, and then grammar after that.
So you
Hmm.
started with vocabulary and trying to pick out
Uh-huh.
keywords by
Right.
listening to podcasts, and then after that you put it together with the grammar structure. That's a very interesting process
Yeah.
that
And
you
also like
chose.
for grammar, usually there are like certain patterns that you only need to follow, and then it's not really hard to learn the grammar.
And so somebody who would be overwhelmed, be hesitating and not sure that they can succeed, do you
Hmm.
think that everybody can succeed? Do you think it's possible for everybody?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I came from Indonesia. I never learned French or any other language other than English during my whole life. And then I know nothing about French last year. Just 5 to 6 months, I was able to get like a pretty high score, I'd say. For
Christian.
everyone out there that you want to start learning French, welcome to learn French. And then it's not that hard, trust me. Madam Alice, all the teachers, and also Berfolang for making my dreams of getting a PR here achievable.
Thank you.
Thank
Bravo,
you.
Christian. Bravo,
Merci beaucoup. Merci
Christian.
beaucoup.
Bravo.